Today you're going to learn about AVID Tutorials. Tutorials take place twice a week on Tuesdays and Thursdays. The AVID tutorial process is divided up into 3 parts: before, during, and after the tutorial. These 3 parts provide a framework for the 10 steps that are needed to take place to create an effective and collaborative tutorial process. Trained tutors come into the classroom and help guide student-centered groups answer their own questions about assignments, schoolwork, and much more. Tutorials are when we help students learn to develop and answer higher-level thinking questions. Just as binder checks are the organizational cornerstone of AVID, tutorials are the inquiry cornerstone of AVID. Let's get started so we can teach you the 10 steps. The first 3 steps in the tutorial process are done before the tutorial. In your academic classes, this means history, science, math, and language arts, you should be taking Cornell notes guided by an essential question given by the teacher. This should be on material presented in lectures, textbooks, videos, handouts, anything. After class, you should be reviewing your notes, creating questions in the left column of your Cornell notes, and writing a summary at the bottom of your Cornell notes that responds with that essential question at the top of your paper. Step 2. While completing your homework or studying for a test or reviewing those Cornell notes at home before a tutorial, you need to identify a point of confusion. A point of confusion is only something that you're confused about, something that you have a question about. Not everybody understands everything that they learn in school. So it's something that you have a question about. Note, if you don't have a point of confusion, it is your responsibility to go to a history, science, math, or language arts teacher and ask them for a challenging question. So once you have a point of confusion, using your tutorial request form, which is a TRF, you will complete the pre-work leading to that point of confusion. This pre-work includes an initial question, key vocabulary associated with the question, prior knowledge, critical thinking about the initial question, and the steps and processes used to identify the point of confusion. I know this sounds really complicated, but you will see examples on paper, and you will also see video examples as well. Note, the TRF also includes accountability for bringing a resource. You need to bring that notebook. You need to bring your textbook. You need to bring a copy of that quiz. Those are resources. You're going to use collaborative inquiry. That means you're going to ask questions of each other in your group. You're going to take notes while people are up at the board. And then after the tutorial's all over, you're going to turn your paper over and reflect on your tutorial experience each week. This is an example of what a TRF looks like. Our TRFs are always on salmon-colored paper, so they help stand out in your binder much easier. You should always keep an extra TRF or 2 in your binder for if you were absent on the day we hand them out, because they're always still going to be due on the same day. Step 3. As students enter the room, the teacher, or sometimes a tutor, will take your TRF at the door. They're going to check over your TRF pre-work and your resources. The resources you bring need to support your point of confusion. For example, your Cornell notes, your textbook, a quiz, etc. The next 4 steps are done during the tutorial. Step 4. Your teacher or tutors will place you into tutorial groups of 7 or fewer. These group members sit in a semicircle, like a horseshoe shape, to facilitate the communication and collaboration among all students, facing a board in which the student presenter can record his or her pre-work and point of confusion. One person will go up at the board at a time and use the board. Step 5. The tutor will decide who goes first up to the board. That person is called the student presenter. The student presenter writes the point of confusion question on the left-hand side of the board and explains to the group members his or her pre-work by giving a 30-second speech. Next, group members ask questions using the levels of thinking to probe deeper into possible approaches to solving the point of confusion. During the inquiry process, the student presenter begins to make sense of the question and records notes on the board, while group members take 3-column notes on what he or she has written on the board. Group members are not responsible for finding the answer to the student presenter's question. Their primary goal is to prompt the thinking and guide the student presenter using critical thinking. The tutor's responsibility is to coach and facilitate the inquiry process among the group members, rather than interacting one-on-one with the student presenter. The tutor sits in the tutor seat and takes 3-column notes for the student presenter during this time at the board. The tutor should have no more than one equal voice during the tutorial. We just mentioned that in step 5, you give a 30-second speech. This is very simple, and you will have a printout of exactly how to do it. It's going to start out with my essential question for my pre-work is, then you fill in the blank. The academic vocabulary words needed to know to do my pre-work and to write my questions are, fill in the blank. When I was doing my pre-work, I was able to, fill in the blank. My point of confusion is, fill in the blank. Then you ask, what questions do you have to assist me in understanding the point of confusion? All of these things are written in your pre-work. So basically, all you're doing is reading out loud the pre-work to your group. If you're worried about knowing how to ask good questions, there are tutorial question stems that we'll be giving you to help you out in the beginning. Once you get a hang of it, you can do this on your own just as easy as anyone else. Step 6. The group members and tutors help the student presenter think about the steps or process used to clarify his or her point of confusion. Checking for understanding occurs as the student presenter reviews with the group the work completed and articulates the steps or process used. The steps and process can be recorded on the whiteboard in the 3rd column all the way to the right. So the first column is your point of confusion, the middle column on the whiteboard will be your notes, and the 3rd column on the right will be your steps. Step 7 is easy. You just repeat steps 5 and 6 to make sure that all group members have a time up at the board. The last 3 steps are done after the tutorial. Following the tutorial session, this will be on Thursdays, you will write a reflection on your learning about the tutorial process. If you did not have an opportunity to present up at the board, you're going to have to reflect on someone else's point of confusion in their learning during the tutorial process. If there's time left, you can share your reflections with a partner or the whole group. Step 9. When you are done with your reflection, you will hand it in to your tutor to be graded. The tutor will hand it back to you when it's finished. Then it's your responsibility to hand in your TRF to the appropriate box in the back of the room. You need to keep track of your 3-column notes by stapling them to the back of your TRF. Your grade is based on pre-work inquiry, resources, collaborative inquiry, 3-column notes, presenter's point of confusion, and your reflection. Once your group is done and you've handed in your TRF, you're finished with your tutorial for the week. You need to stay busy though. That means work on other homework. Remember that you have group members available if you need help. Write summaries for your unfinished Cornell notes. Organize your AVID binder. Read a book silently. Take an AR test. Finish any Google Classroom assignments that aren't done. Almost anything that you're doing, as long as you're staying productive, will be fine. Step 10. After you're back in class, your teacher and tutors will collaborate and debrief about the tutorial, how effective it was, any concerns about students, or ideas of how to refine it even better. You, as a student, will take back what you learned about your point of confusion back to your content area classes and verify your learning. I know the AVID tutorial process sounds really complicated, but once you've done it a time or two, it's not hard at all. Next, you're going to end up watching videos of tutorials being done in actual classrooms. This will help you, especially if you're a visual learner, to see how it's done and how it just all flows together and how easy it can be. We do tutorials each week, but you can earn a golden ticket. If you complete all of your TRFs for the quarter, you will earn a golden ticket for the last TRF of the quarter. This means you don't have to do a TRF, but you still will be in a group and help ask questions and participate that way. So get out there and earn those golden tickets.